being fit and active is a big thing in New Zealand, and many of the women that come into dementia facilities, women in their late 70s, early 80s with Alzheimer's, have been fit and active all their lives. Most of them, many of them, having ridden a bicycle right up to the age of 40 if they didn't get a car till then for the family, and then with the children being involved in all their sport, often keeping up with netball and tennis, and then when they retire, activities like golf, and then of course the garden, the never-ending garden, that keeps you active. And in Christchurch here where I live, the Garden City, having a garden and keeping it nice is a very big deal. So a lot of these dementia residents coming into the units have had big gardens, have had an outdoors life, and need to be able to get outdoors and have walks and nice activities outside in nature, in gardens, so that they can adapt to living in dementia facilities. It's very difficult otherwise, because if you go from an environment, you know, where you've had a lovely big garden, you've had plenty of activity, and you've enjoyed the sun and nature, and then you go into an enclosed environment where you can't get out. It's so demanding. Really, if someone's fit and active, the priority needs to be that they go into a dementia unit that is first level. At least it has an outside enclosed area where the person can get outside and enjoy the fresh air and sunshine, men included. I did the previous video on men, so you can go to that if you have someone, a male dementia, a male relative with dementia in a dementia unit. For men and women who are fit and active and who have spent a lot of time outdoors in nature, they need to be in an outside area to be able to get that fresh air and sunshine and to be able to walk around unhindered outside. So if at all possible, for people that are fit and active, to get them into a dementia unit with an enclosed outdoor area, really that needs to be the priority over and above everything else. It's more important than their bedroom, it's more important than the lounge decor, it's more important than even location. If they don't get that outside area to be able to walk in, it's so difficult unless, and there are exceptions, unless there is a friend or a family member who is prepared to come daily to take the person out for a walk. That's fantastic, and that does happen, but rarely. Where I worked, it was a first floor dementia unit, so it was enclosed with only a very small pocket handkerchief veranda. And those residents that got to go out daily for walks, or say every second day, really was only 2 or 3. And interestingly enough, the ones that did get that opportunity were trampers. Their husband was a tramper, and the woman, excuse me, was a tramper, tramping beaches, hills, mountains, fieldland tracks, doesn't matter, big walking trips. And because they'd been used to walking together, there was one couple, and they'd always been big walkers. They'd taken their families on all the fieldland tracks in the West Coast. They were always, you know, going to the beach or doing something active every weekend. They loved going to walks on the Port Hills here in Christchurch. They'd done that all their life, daily and for bigger walks in the weekend. So when the wife came into the dementia unit, the man, who also lived at the retirement village, the same retirement village, thankfully, for easy access and not having to drive, every day would come to the unit every morning, and they would just go out for a lovely big walk every day, same as they always had. Now that's the best integration. So that woman didn't have the stress, didn't have the anxiety that other women have, and she was able to integrate because of her husband taking her out for walks daily. And he did that, you know, for 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, so that was incredible. And he also included the steps and stairs for quadriceps, upper leg strength, so that her balance was maintained and her quadriceps strength was maintained. And that was why he was able to do that for a full 5 years. So if someone's dedicated enough to do that, then a first level dementia unit is okay. But if not, it's important for the person to be on a first level where there's an outside enclosed area. It's different if the woman, for example, is in her, say, late 80s, early 90s. She's on a walker. She finds it pretty difficult even to walk to her room 40, 50 metres up the corridor. So she puts all her energy into functional walking to get to the toilet or her bathroom and back, but over and above that, she's not that interested in going outside, especially if she's got sore knees and hips and she's short of breath and she'd rather sit in front of the TV. Fine. You know, that's the way it is for her. She's not going to want to go for big walks outside, and she doesn't therefore need to be in a downstairs unit. I mean, it's nice to go for a little, you know, walk around outside, but she's not going to be yearning for a big walk like the fit and active residents are. It varies with all residents. I mean, with the women do tend to adjust better than the men. They really do. I think mainly because they're the majority. They tend to make friends, therefore, more easily. Men find it difficult to make friends, male friends in dementia units. They're the minority and they don't like sitting down talking and chatting like women do. And also, women tend to be more, well, sometimes they make a male friend. There was one dementia resident who was really fiercely fit and strong and totally wanted to get out and was always, you know, calling out. And I didn't ever think she'd settle, actually. But she actually met a man, another dementia resident at the unit, who she quickly called her husband. And boy, did she de-escalate quickly after that. Arm in arm all day. She never asked to get out of the dementia unit again after that. So that was one example. There was another lady. She was also keen to get out, had been a big tramper all her life. And she made a very good friend with one of the most social residents, female residents at the unit. So automatically became part of a big social group. So she settled after that. And another lady, she'd been very sporty all her life and always wanted to get out. But friends and family visited but didn't take her out for walks. So she had the support, but part support, and that she couldn't get out. But her daughter used to come every 6 months from Australia to visit. And for that full week, she got out every day, beautiful walks to the gardens, out to cafes, etc. So that sort of fueled her for the next 6 months to be able to manage. So it is different for everyone. It's completely and utterly different for everybody. And it just needs to be taken into account what that person needs to be able to manage and adapt and adjust to living in a dementia facility. So I've written these 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit. And thank you so much, all of you out there. I know there's so many different countries now looking at these videos, and I'm really noting that and appreciating that. And I just want to mention here too that please, I know that I'm speaking from a New Zealand perspective, coming from New Zealand, of course, but all of these techniques can be adjusted to your country and your situation, you know, with so many variances. I'll actually do a video tomorrow on those variances to take into account various countries and cultures in different dementia units. As I'll do that as best as I can tomorrow. But please, with these typical New Zealand examples, adjust it to your country, to your topography, geography, history, culture, religion, etc. But the basic principles will still apply of these positive practical techniques. Solutions to the problems for people living in these dementia facilities. I've written these 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both on Amazon and my website below. So good, easy reading, or ebook as well. So that's, you know, an easy read on your iPad or whatever. So thank you for your looks and views, and please subscribe. Thank you.